Hello everyone, Rich here. In this video I'm going to show you how to automate mouse movements and keystrokes using AutoHotKey. I think I've done a video on AutoHotKey before, but I've never shown the automation of mouse movements. And being that's kind of a different animal, I wanted to show how that's actually done. So let's hop to it. AutoHotKey.com. This is free software, by the way, it does not cost anything. On the top of the page is a download link. We go to download now. There is the latest version, which is AutoHotKey L. That is not the one I'm going to be using because it does not have the scriptwriter utility that I need. However, the one right below it, installer for AutoHotKey Basic, it's older and kind of a little more difficult to get around with, but it does have the scriptwriter utility, and you'll see that in a moment. So that is the one I'm going to get, and I will save this and save that and run it. Close, minimize, next, I agree, next, install, do not show the README, finish. And then I have AutoHotKey here, which is the green icon with the white H in the middle. If you are launching this from, say, Windows 7 or Vista, you can click the logo down here and just search for AutoHotKey, all one word, and you'll find it. It'll show the H. Now when you first run it, it's going to say, would you like to create a sample script? Yes. It does. You close it. And then launch it again. And now we have the green H in the task area. So, now at this point, what I'm going to do here, let me close this, is the reason I'm showing the mail, is I'm going to set up a script which will copy some mouse movements, because what I want to do is that every time I reply to a message, I want it to enable the blind carbon copy field, fill it in with a specific address, and then place my cursor into the body of the message so I can type it and send. Now, before I do the script, it is best if this is what you want to do, to run the browser in maximized mode, meaning not like this, the whole screen. And the reason is because the browser, everything has to be in the same position every time. For example, these buttons are in this position on the screen, but if I do this, now they've moved. Now they're over here. If I move the browser, now they're over here. Consistency is the key here. Also, if you have something open, like a sidebar widget or something like that, certain webmails do that, it has to be open. Or if not, basically it has to always be the same every time for everything to work. Now, for example, if I open this message and I hit reply, okay, I want to enable the blind carbon copy field. It's over here. This is where I would click, but if I have a widget enabled, now it's over here. You see what I'm saying? So remember, consistency, but just to keep it interesting, I will just go on the assumption that the calendar in this AOL mail is always open. If you're using a different email program, just make sure things are consistent and that the browser is maximized, and it will always work. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to cancel this, and then I'm going to run AutoScriptWriter Recorder, which is the one with the top hat on it. If running Vista or 7, just click the thing, the Windows logo, click the Windows logo and search for AutoScriptWriter, all one word, and it will show up. You might also want to put a shortcut to this on your desktop. So it launches this fugly looking app. Might be fugly, but it does the job. So what I'm going to do here is that I don't want the window text to be recorded, but I do want to record the mouse and record and shrink. So I'm going to hit record. Now what happens is that this is up here. You see this thing, it's animated, it says stop. When you want to stop, you hit stop, and that's what you do. And then you'll see the script here. So anyway, let's go. Now, I want this script to operate when I'm actually reading a message, so I'll just assume that the browser is maximized. This bar is always here, and I am actually reading the message like this. So this is where I'm going to start the automation. So I'll go ahead and record. I want the mouse to go here and click reply. Then I want the mouse to go over here and click BCC, which shows the blind carbon copy field. Then I want the mouse to go over here, click, and type someone at somewhere.com, whatever. Okay, so that's all set. And now I want the mouse to go down here and click once so I can start typing. Okay, now my script is done. So I'm going to click stop. And it puts all this gobbledygook in here. Well, it's not really gobbledygook because this is all script. So it says, okay, it's going to launch the Mozilla Firefox browser in this specific tab, and then click this coordinate, wait 100 millisecond, then this, wait 100 millisecond, then this, and you get the idea. And then it also shows the things that I typed. And then we're done. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this. And by the way, if you have to watch this video a few times through just to understand what I'm saying, it's okay, because for those of you that have not used this before, it's a bit overwhelming at first, but once you start using it, believe me, it's awesome. And you'll see the awesomeness in just a moment. Okay, so now I want to edit the script to do this on a specific keystroke. So I can right-click the H, and where is it? Okay, there it is, edit this script. And this is the same, whether it's in 2000, NT, XP, Vista 7, whatever. And it launches Notepad, which is the script. Okay, what I need to do is I need to set up a keystroke and then run this script. So I'm going to go, let me just move this out of the way, to the bottom of the script. Now the easiest one for this specific function is to do a Control-Alt-R, because that's usually not assigned to anything else in a web browser. And the way to do Control-Alt-R, they have an example up here, which is Control-Alt-N, which is a caret exclamation point N colon colon. So I'm going to use caret exclamation point R colon colon enter. And then I'm going to highlight this, right click and copy. Click in here, right click and paste. Now the only thing I have to do here is press enter once, and you have to make sure you do this at the end of the script, is type return. You have to specifically type return, which means return control to you. Okay, so this is done, and I'll close this. And now what I'm going to do is just save the script and then relaunch it. So I file, save, close, go back to the H, right click, and reload this script. Okay, we're good to go. Now what should happen is that while reading a message, if I press Control-Alt-R, it should do the mouse movements and the keystrokes that I told it to do. So let's see if it does it or not. So now I'm reading the message. Here we go. Control-Alt-R. It worked. That was all automated, what you just saw. It enabled clicked reply, click BCC, filled in the field, click down here, and now I can type, and hit send, and I'm done. So that's my auto blind carbon copy. Now there are some of you that may try this, but the script actually moves too fast. Maybe because there's something that doesn't load fast enough in a web browser. Maybe your computer is a little slow. Could be something like that. You can fix that. This is how to do it. We will go and edit the script again. Now between each movement there is a sleep of 100 millisecond. 1000 is 1 second. 100 is a tenth of a second. You can start by doing a half a second, which is like 500 or something like that. But I'm going to purposely put this to 2000 each, which is 2-second delay between each mouse click. Okay, so I have 4 sleeps in here. So I change that to 2000, 2000, 2000, 2000. That means I'm going to click, wait 2 seconds, click, wait 2 seconds, click, wait 2 seconds, type in the stuff, click, wait 2 seconds, and return control to me. So I will save this, close, right click, and reload the script again. And let's give it another go. So I'm in the inbox and I open my message, and at this point when I'm reading the message I want it to reply. Now it should go through a lot slower this time. The movement will be the same speed, but the pauses between the movements is what's going to be the slow part. So let's go Control-Alt-R. reply. Okay, and now I should type in stuff, which it did. Click, and that's it. It's done. Now you notice it went through a lot slow. The pauses were a full 2 seconds that time between each click. So if you run into the situation where it just simply the script does not work because it's clicking before things can actually load, now you know what to do. Now on a final note, you remember I said a moment ago, if things aren't exactly as such, the script won't work. Let's pretend this is gone. Well, actually, we don't have to pretend. This is. I will collapse the calendar, and now we know that when I do that on the reply, the BCC is moved over here. This script will now fail. I'll give you an example. So I'll try it again. Goes to reply. Watch it go to the right. See, it's clicking, and now it's going to just completely screw up and type in the wrong spot, which it did. Yeah, see, it failed. But if I have everything the same every time, and then I do it, now it's working. So you see the importance of having everything the same. Now, for those of you out there wondering, can this be used in, say, video games? Some of them, yeah. You can use AutoHotKey in some games. But again, it has to be the thing where the menus have to be consistent. Everything has to be in the same place every time. It doesn't work in all games. Some of them it does. With the browser, again, the easiest way to have everything consistent is to run the browser maximized on your screen. So it will take some experimentation on your part to find out what clicks work best. Don't be surprised if they don't work the first time. There's tweaking involved. There's always tweaking with this stuff. In addition, you don't just have to have one command. You can have several. This is a Control-Alt-R here. If I wanted to have something like, for example, a #Z means I think that's a win key. So if I wanted something with this is run AutoHotKey.com. Let's try something. Yeah, actually, I'll do that. It should be activated. So let me close this browser and do WinZ. Yes, it does work. Okay, so WinZ in this one, or flag Z if you want to call it that, means to run this command. Now if I wanted to change this Control-Alt-R to a WinZ, I totally could, but I'd have to delete that first because you can't have two of the same thing. So anyway, you can have as many key commands as you want here. You know, it's not a big deal. So if I wanted another one, say a Control-Alt-T, that would be a caret, exclamation point, T, colon, colon. And then script here, and then end it return, file save, right click this, reload script, and it will work. So R does this, and then T does this. While you're doing this, bear in mind that sometimes it may argue with other predefined keystrokes of the system. For example, flag R you can't use because that brings up the run dialog, which is right here. So if you try to do a flag R, the run dialog will come up all the time. So that's reserved for Windows. If you do a flag E, can't use that either because that brings up my computer. So again, you'll have to experiment around to see which keystrokes work. You'll probably want to actually try the keystroke before actually doing the script. If nothing happens, you pretty much know you can use it at that point. Anyway, so that is it in a nutshell, guys, and I hope that you write many scripts to automate many tasks. Take it easy.